Welcome to a special edition of Worship Quest Wednesdays. It's been over 3 weeks since Russia invaded Ukraine, and I wanted you to hear directly from friends of mine in Ukraine on what's happening and how we can best be praying with Ukraine. I'd like to introduce you to Ivan Rusyn. Ivan is president of Ukrainian Evangelical Theological Seminary in Kyiv. Worship Quest Ministries is partnered with UETS, teaching courses in worship and theology, and teaching at an annual music and worship conference hosted on their campus. But our partnership goes beyond teaching. We're involved in ministry together, and friends like Ivan are more than just friends, they are family. Ivan, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Stephen. I'm happy to have this opportunity to share.
Good. Well, first, briefly tell us about yourself and your family so we know who you are.
Well, I serve with the Ukrainian Evangelical Theological Seminary as a rector or president, and also as a professor of missions. So my education is in the area of theology, missiology, and international affairs. And frankly speaking, I have not been trained to do what I'm doing right now because of the war. I am married. I have no children yet. So at this moment, I am in Kiev, remaining in Kiev, and heavily involved in supporting our seminary and also in relief ministry.
Okay, wonderful. What can you tell us about your current situation? Are you safe? Are you with others? Who's with you?
Well, no, I am not in a safe place. I remain in Kiev, and every day we are delivering food, medicine, water, and other provision to many people in Kiev and suburb. So shelling, bombs, combats, this is what I hear every day. And this alarm, which is a very strong sound in all Kiev, that rockets are heading toward Kiev, this is my everyday reality. So, for example, today with my friends and partners, we were serving communion to our soldiers during explosions and shooting. So, well, maybe I made mistake right now because my wife, she will maybe see this video and she will find out that I'm not in a safe condition, but it's very relative safety that we have. So I will send you some photos, what I see right now from my window. Okay. And I see the area of my hometown where I used to live, and now there is a big smoke and everything is burning.
We're so sorry about that. What about the seminary, the campus? How is it holding up?
Well, I think we did a good job, and we take this threat seriously with my team. And we had a crisis plan, so we had enough food and water, and we turned our basements and cellars into I forget this word, like shelters. Okay. But we had to evacuate our students and our faculty, I think on 5th day of the war. And the bravest team remained, especially our people from our kitchen. So our kitchen staff, they remained and they were preparing food for our neighborhood, because our commitment was that nobody will be hungry in our neighborhood, in our community. So, and we have been doing this for a number of days, and we were providing food for elderly and other people in our community. But then we have been warned by our army that it is absolutely unsafe to remain in the campus. So, on second day, our army, they said that we must leave. So after that, we evacuated everybody from our campus, and maybe next day, our campus was hit by three rockets. So 4 of our buildings are damaged by rockets, and our campus is attacked by Russian terrorists. So this is the situation. What we are now, and we cannot access to the campus most of the time because very heavy combat is taking place there. And even though we have to deliver food for people that still remain in our neighborhood, our soldiers, they say to us, we really appreciate that you are ready to risk your life because you are ministers and priests, but we are not happy, so we will not let you in.
Okay.
So, and during many days when we have been delivering food, we saw rockets going in 2 directions.
Mm-hmm.
So at this moment, our campus, it is not occupied by terrorists, but it is damaged and it is unsafe to be there.
Okay. And the people that you're helping in the community, these are people who are elderly or maybe disabled who are not able to flee to other safer places?
Yeah, primarily it is elderly people.
Okay.
And there are thousands of people in shelters. So as I mentioned somewhere, that I will never forget these first seconds when we approach a shelter and people are coming up, and first seconds when they try to figure out who we are. Are we the enemy, or we,
right?
We bring something for them, and then when they realize that we represent seminary and church, and we brought food, and they smile and gratitude. So we see it every day, and just maybe 1 hour ago, I had a very moving moment. We brought food for very old people. And elderly lady, she hugged me as I am her son. Wow. And she took some money, very small like currency, and she said, can you give this money to our army? I want to support our army. So, and she started to cry, and I said, our army is doing okay, so keep your funds with you. You may need it more than our soldiers.
Wow. So
this is every day what we see, and we are visiting all kind of people, and sometimes my brothers and sisters, they ask me, whom do we support? Do we support only members of our church? And my answer is, this war made everybody my neighbor. So we never ask, is this people a member of a church, or he is an atheist or Buddhist? Mm-hmm. So, and every day we meet new people. A few days ago, I delivered food and water to a blind man. He stayed on a 3rd floor in a very poor, simple condition, sleeping on the floor. And as a blind man, he was giving me some money, and he was asking, how much does it cost that you brought me food? Wow. And I say, this is for free. We belong to a church and we care for our citizens.
That's right.
And today, maybe two hours ago, we were delivering bread. And Stephen, can you imagine? 2022 is outside, and people are happy to get a piece of bread.
Wow.
An old lady, maybe 80 years old, she asked, how much does it cost? And we say, it's for free. Mm-hmm. Who done this? And said, we are Christians, we are the church, and we just helping people. And literally she started to cry. Mm-hmm. So this is what is going on in my country, in the capital city of Ukraine.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Ivan, you sent me a video of a tour that you took of the campus shortly after it was hit. I'd like to show that video now.
Це наш кампус.
Снаряд прилетів прямо сюди.
Tylko ofis вроде цілий. О, тушили, значить.
Ні, тут це просто було.
Ну, тільки поулітало все. Тоже.
Відкриваємо.
Закрито.
У мене є ключ. Це наша їдальня. Хлопці, треба воду перекрити срочно.
Там все утікати?
Да. Треба перекрити. Це наш кемпус.
Ivan, how do you hope the church or Christians in Ukraine and worldwide will respond to this time of war?
Well, if I will say something strange, just know that English is not my first or second language. So
Okay, all right.
I am very proud to see the response of Ukrainian Christians. Churches are heavily involved. Just yesterday, there was a big funeral. A husband and a father of 6 children, a volunteer, he was killed while he was evacuating people. So churches in Ukraine, most of them, they are doing extremely important work, receiving refugees, providing food, water, and medicine. So this is an extreme example of solidarity, generosity, and compassion. So when I see Christians and what kind of response they demonstrate, it's amazing. We're also grateful for the global church, especially from the United States of America, Great Britain, Poland, Czech Republic, Norway. We are receiving a lot of humanitarian aid, food, medicine, clothes, and then we distribute it in Kiev. So the church is really active, and it seems that this religious or denominational walls are very low, extremely low. So every Ukrainian citizen is my neighbor at this moment. So we're truly happy, and I'm as a missiologist, and a pastor, I'm really happy to see this. So global church is very active. Of course, there are some churches, especially in the Russian Federation, that they publicly support Putin and his violence against Ukraine. So we are very sad to see this, and this is a catastrophe in Ukraine. It's absolutely devastating, but also this is a catastrophe for Russian Christianity. And maybe if the rest of the world will be silent, it might become a global catastrophe.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. And I would imagine, Ivan, as a missiologist, that when this war is over, and we are praying that it will be over soon, that as you teach your students about missiology, it's going to come from a different perspective now because of this war.
I believe that our theology will be purified in this fire of suffering. Stephen, I saw many civilians being killed. I saw Ukrainian soldiers being killed. I was able only once to get to my town. The main reason was to deliver medicine and to inform people that stayed in the basement of my block of flats that evacuation is going to be today. They were without any connection to the internet or cell phones. So I made a decision to get to my hometown, which is maybe 10 kilometers from the seminary. My town was under Russian terrorists. So I was trying, it was impossible for me to use my car. So I took a bicycle from my friend Fyodor. He is the head of our theology department. And I was discouraged because his bike is designed for mountains and it's very slow in a like flat road. So I had to, ride. It was long ride.
Yeah.
So, and at 2 block posts, our soldiers, they did not allow me to enter. Mm-hmm. So then I found a way to go to the river. So finally I get to my hometown and I get to my basement and there were a lot of people. And I told them that if you want to leave, you have to leave it now. So, and I told them, and I left medicine, and also I told them that I am going back to Kiev so they can follow me. And we are using a collar at this moment in Ukraine. This is not the evangelical tradition, but you have to be recognized. So I use it during this moment. So people said, one lady, she said, I trust him. He's the priest.
Oh, wow.
So, and Stephen, I was leading some people from my city to another city, to our city that was under Ukrainian army. And literally, I was helping elderly people to go through mines. Mm. So, and the question, the old lady, I don't know her name. So she was asking, are our guys close? And I was telling her, you see, there is a flag, Ukrainian flag. When we get there, we will be saved. And I knew that on my back there are Russian terrorists. So this is the situation that we are now. Russian soldiers are less than 7 miles away from the place where I am now. They are attacking Kiev every day, many times. Today we woke up smelling really strong like smoke. Mm. And what I want to make as clear as it possible, this is not a conflict situation. This is full-scale war when tanks, missiles, rockets, planes are being used. Right. And Russian terrorists, because Ukraine demonstrated resistance, they use all means. Mm. They are attacking civilians, a block of flats, cinemas, hospitals. So, and according to United Nations statistics, over 3 million left Ukraine, and about 9 million are internally displaced people. This is a national-wide catastrophe. But also, this is an example how Ukrainians can fight and can be united against the enemy.
Amen. Amen. Well, tell us, Ivan, please, how can we best be praying for you and for Ukraine?
Well, pray for Ukraine that we can survive. We are fighting a giant. Mm. Quite often we feel that we are absolutely alone. Mm. The enemy is using all means, brutal means. The rest of the world wants to remain in some kind of norms. So we very often we feel that we are absolutely alone. So pray for our nation, pray for our government, pray for our churches that we can serve, that we can be Christ's hand, that we can hug our nation. We can be a voice of hope, even though very often we don't see any hope. You know, so your prayers are very important. Second, stand with Ukraine. If you have opportunity to motivate your governments to be more active, we will truly appreciate it. This is not about Ukraine. This is about foundational values of civilized world. Right. So if Putin will win, he will go further. And I use it for Christianity today, and I will repeat it now. My message to the Western world, that if Putin will defeat Ukraine, if he will win, if Ukraine will fail, will be killed, I am quite sure that the civilized world will not be able to enjoy in fullness the beauty of freedom. Yeah. Because every time when you will want to enjoy freedom, it will taste the Ukrainian blood. Ukrainian suffering. Millions of Ukrainians are refugees. Stephen, only 2 faculty members out of 50 are staying in their apartments. The rest are refugees. So some people, thousands of my fellow citizens, they are doing it second time. My extended family from the city of Donetsk, they fled in 2014. Finally, they developed their life in Kiev, and now they had to flee again. And the brother of the cousin of my wife, she was literally crying, I cannot start from scratch again. It's an extreme suffering. And our plea, we are begging the world, please help us to sustain. Because this war is absolutely satanic. It is unprovoked war. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's a huge tragedy. Putin is destroying entire cities. So our cry to the world, please do not leave us alone. And our message to Russian Federation, leave us alone. If you want to rebuild the Soviet Union, do it, but just within your borders. So it's a huge catastrophe, extreme suffering, but also it's a moment when you can see what compassion is about, what love is about, and to see that collaboration of Christians and atheists, just for the sake of our nation, it's extreme blessing. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you, Ivan, for joining us. I know it's been a very tough 3 weeks for you, for your family, your friends, for your people. And just know that we are praying for you and we love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
All right.
And I truly appreciate partnership with you. So may God bless you.
God bless you too.